Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Angie, and as you can tell by the title, I am going to share with you some things that I did to save $10,000 in 1 year. So this is going to date back going back to 2018. It was February of 2018 up until May of 2019. So it was about a year, 2 months, and 2 weeks, I think, that it took me to save $10,000. One of the very first things that I did was budget. That's step number one. And when I say budget, I wrote everything down. I wrote down my income for the month, I wrote down my bills for the month, and I subtracted my bills from my income, and what I was left with determined how much I would strive for saving. You're going to need some things to keep with you handy so that you can maintain your budgeting and your goal setting. The very first thing I will recommend is a pen and paper to write everything down. You need not just a pen and paper, a notebook. You need to keep everything in one place. You want to make sure that all of your starting figures, all of your goals, your months, your predictions, and even your the things that you actually accomplish, you want to make sure that you have them in one solid place. Now, this is a small enough notebook that it can fit inside your purse. This one is not for sale, but this is mine, and I put some scriptures on the bottom to just kind of motivate myself, just to make sure that I stay on track and I keep things where they need to be and in the same place. One of the other things that I use, this is a notebook that I use that I currently have all of my stuff in, but I still have a few pages left, so I have not moved to this one yet. But I keep notebooks with me, I keep a pen, I keep sticky notes, because if I think of something that I can do or something that changes, I can write it down and then go back and add it into my permanent book until that goal is reached. Now, I do put dates and times on when I start a particular goal, and then I come back, and once it's finished, I put the date that it's finished. That's how I can tell when I completed the goal. And so now just stay tuned for the little clips that I'm going to insert that shows you how I actually do my calculations, how I do my budgeting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my starting point, my date and the time. Then I am going to, and this is how I budget. This is what I do on a weekly and even a daily basis. I'm going to put my bills, and I'm just going to say that this is going to be for the month of May. So you will put your rent or your mortgage. So now that we have everything here, you're going to put the total, and we're going to add this up. Now, so my bills equal $2,045. Then my income that I expect for the month, let's just say I get $3,000 a month. Your bills, $20.45. You're going to do your subtraction. 3,000 minus $20.45. You're left with $955. So that's what you know you can work with. So now that you know that you have almost $950 extra, and let's just take out $200 for remaining in savings. Not savings, checking. You're going to keep that in your checking account. So you're left with $755. From there, I would safely say that I could save $600. $155 extra to spend. So in the month of May, after all of your bills are paid, your income, your bills, you put something in savings, that's how much you have extra to spend. So on top of writing everything down and budgeting, you have to set a goal. I am going to insert some clips that's going to show you all a little bit how my process goes, but I wrote everything down. I wrote down what I attempted to save. I wrote down what I ended up actually saving. And then at the end of the process, I was able to see where I started, what my desires were before, and what I actually did save. And that was very motivating for me. So the next thing I would do is go into my notebook and I would write down my savings goals. So I'm going to do what month I would prefer to have those goals saved by. And we're going to start with May. And let's do October. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And then again, I go ahead and write the date, April 30th, 2020. What time is it now? It is 5:50 p.m. So my expected income for May, I'm hoping to save $600. So my goal is $600. And then my actual, I'll write there when that time comes. But for now, that's what my goal is for that. So my total goal, let's just say I would do this for May and then June and then July and then August and then September. I would do this same thing for each of those months. Some of your bills may not change, so you are able to actually calculate your bills monthly because most times they don't change. The light bill may change, your amount of food and gas may change, but pretty much your car, no car insurance, cell phone, those things tend to stay the same. So I would just go ahead and do June. I would do the same thing for June. What my bills are, what my income is. So the numbers may change per month depending on what you have, or if you pay one bill once every 6 months or so, once every year. So I'm just going to assume that I can save safely about $500 per month. I'm just going to go with 500. That just seems safe. It seems doable. With me being able to save $500 all those times, at the end of the challenge, I should have, let's see what this is. 1, 2, 3. So $3,100 basically. Let's just make sure. There's nothing wrong with the calculator. Just to always make sure. $3,100 per month. I mean for this particular challenge. That's how much you're expected to save. Now that may change because you may, in September or August, some bills may go away, some may increase, some may decrease. You may pay something off, so you may not have that to worry about anymore. But for the most part, you're looking at attempting to save $3,100 for this 6 months, and that's just based on these numbers. Again, the numbers may change. They may be completely different for you, but just for the sake of this video, this is just a quick little example of how I budget and how I work things out. So as the days go by and I start writing more and more on different pages, setting different goals, I will come back, and when May is over, I will put what I actually saved for May. I probably actually saved $1,000 for May. And for June, I may have actually saved only $200. And I may have only saved $400 here. And I may have only saved, or maybe I may have saved $1,500 here. Something may have happened, who knows, and I got $1,500. Same thing here, I may have saved $1,200. And then here I may have fallen back down to $200. Now let's see what our actual is for this one. We actually saved $4,500 here. So that is your goal, and this is what you actually save. So I did it in 6-month increments. I did the first 6 months and then the last 6 months. But I did it this way because life is so unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but 6 months seemed like a safe time frame for me to do a savings goal. So the first 6 months, my plan was to save $5,000, and it was about $400 per month, I believe. I ended up trying to save, but some months I was under, some months I was over, and in the end it ended up balancing out, which was a great thing. The second thing I did was, well, this was really the first thing, but this helped because it was already in place. But if I had to give anyone some advice, the second thing would be to make sure you know what type of account you have. So whether you have a regular savings account or a money market account, knowing what type of savings account you have is very important, because number one, you want to make sure that you're getting interest on the money that's sitting in the bank. And because $10,000 is such a large number, you want to make sure that you're getting money off of the money that they're loaning to other people. That once your money is in the bank, it's kind of no longer your money, so to speak. They're loaning your money out and they're receiving interest on your money. So why not get a little piece of the pie? The third thing I did was cut back and sacrifice. In 2018, I did not take a trip. I usually take 1 to 2 trips per year, at least one by flight and one road trip. I only took a road trip in 2018, and I did not take a trip by flight. So therefore, I saved at least $1,000 by not traveling that year, because I knew that I wanted to save $10,000. And you may ask, why $10,000? Where there was a number in my savings account, and I wanted to kind of even that off a bit and just add more to it, because there are some goals that I do have in the long run. But for the most part, $10,000 seemed like a challenge for me, and I'm always up for a challenge. On top of me not taking a vacation in 2018, I also picked up a second job. And I know some people are against working 2 jobs to, reach a goal, but when you are sacrificing, anything is up for the sacrifice. And if I wanted to meet the $10,000 goal, getting the second job was only going to be beneficial for me. Yes, I would have lost some time, but what was I doing with that time anyway? I really wasn't doing anything. I didn't have any major hobbies or anything, so it would not have hurt me to pick up a second job in order to save the money that I wanted to save. And one of my checks basically was going strictly into savings, and the other one was paying my bills. So I don't see that as a loss at all. So getting a second job did not hurt me at all. It only helped. Number 4, the fourth thing I would say is to be disciplined. Naturally, I'm a saver. Naturally, I'm frugal. So I don't spend much money to start with. And saving is just, it's natural for me to do. So being disciplined just meant that I needed to be a little bit more intentional with my saving. So while I may have saved $100 here, $100 there, I pushed myself to save $400 here, $500 there. That helped me, and it made me just a little bit more disciplined and more intentional with the things that I was doing. So I may have had a little $20-$30 shopping spree, but instead of having that little shopping spree, I just took that money and I put it into savings, and it really helped tremendously. Number 5, or my 5th thing that I did, I put anything extra in savings. Any unexpected check, anything that was not calculated in my bill. So if I worked overtime on a job, I used that overtime money and it went strictly into savings. My base pay or my base income was what I calculated, and that's what it was. Anything extra went strictly into savings. So even if I got an unexpected check in the mail, like a settlement check from a company, or even just a rebate check, anything that I received that was unexpected went strictly into savings. That's birthday money or just because money, holiday money, whatever the case may be, it went strictly into savings. One step that's kind of like a bonus step with all the steps is to do your research. Even with like the savings account that I spoke of, whether it's a savings account or a money market account, do your research on what works best for you and the amount of money that you're going to have or that you have in that account. If you have $5,000, a regular savings account probably won't get you much interest. You should probably look into a high interest yielding savings account, which is a money market account. But again, do your research. Research is necessary at all points when it comes to saving and budgeting and reaching a goal such as $10,000. And one of the last bonus tips that I did, I created challenges. Well, I didn't create them, but I applied challenges. So I initially started with the 52-week money challenge, which I think toward the end of the challenge, you ended up with about $1,500. But I challenged myself to push harder and to and to give more and to put more into my savings than just the $1 a week, $2 this week, $3 that week. I pushed myself. So I was ahead of the scheduled deposit by hundreds of dollars because I put more into the challenge than what was required. I also made sure to do it exactly when it was supposed to be done. So every Friday when I got paid, I made sure to put the money in there. And I also did little side deposits by, if my account was a few dollars over, so let's just say my checking account had $573 in it. I would probably transfer the $73 over into the savings account, or maybe just the $3. No saving amount is too small. Anything helps, and anything is going to help you reach your goal. The closer you get to your goal, the better. And one last thing that I would say is that when you do put your money into a specific savings account, the interest that you get on that money can also help you to reach your goal. So the money market account that I had my money in, I would get about $25 to $30 per month of interest on my money. So within a 6 months time, that was close to $200 that I was able to add to my savings challenge that I gave myself. So that is also an important reason why you want to make sure that where you put your money is very important. Those are my tips. Those are the things that I did to save $10,000 in 1 year, 2 months, and 2 weeks. And if you all want more information, I'll come back and tell you how my 2019-2020 10,000 challenge went. It went much better than the last one. That's because I did it the first time and I knew what to do better the second time around. And I finished that one in 8 months. So in the last 2 years, I've saved $20,000. And it's not that easy, but if you are disciplined enough, you'll be able to do it as well. If you want more information on that, or you want me to talk about that, I'll come back and I'll record another video for you all and give you some information. But I am going to insert some clips and show you a little bit of my banking information, not my information, but show you a little bit of my interest on my accounts that I receive, so that you can get an idea of what you should expect for your money. Now, our numbers may be a little bit different. Don't be discouraged, because we all have to start somewhere. As long as you start, that's the most important thing.
This first clip is the interest that was gained on a regular savings account, which was 6 cents for the year of 2018. The very next year, the very same year, 2018, in a money market account, I received $201.48 in interest and $4.98 on a savings account, which was an online savings account. 2019, I received interest for the year on a money market account of $376.98, and a regular savings account was $13.65. Then you have the checking account, which gives you no interest whatsoever. An online savings account gives you just 0.5% interest, and a money market account that I took money out of, which made the interest go down, was 0.5%, because depending on the amount of money you have in there, it depends on the amount of interest that you can get. So the online high interest yielding savings account is 1.5% interest, and the blue arrows are going to point to the interest amount that I received on these particular account, and in red you will see what type of account that is. And the money market account, of course, I took some money out of that, so it's only a smaller percentage of interest that's being gained. But if I had anything over $5,000 or $10,000, I would get much more. And this particular account is only gaining interest because I have not been making any deposits, so it's just sitting there earning money.
And I hope that my tips help you, and I hope that you will share this video with someone. And if you need any information, everything is always listed in the description bar or the description box. You can find everything you need over at sincerelyangiem.com. That's where you can find me as well. And my Instagram and any other links that you need to know about will be in the description box. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. I'm so used to my podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.